your baseball career was overlapping all through the 90s into the 2000s, right? With Pulley?
Well, my baseball career has been going on since 1986.
86. Okay.
Yeah, so long before, long before I was in a band called 10 Foot Pole, long before any of that stuff ever even happened. So it's basically been overlapping the entire time I've been playing music, other than, my high school days. And then
Okay.
I was playing baseball in high school as well. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been hand in hand the whole way.
And was that like for you, was the band a nice release to kind of like take your mind, because I'd imagine obviously professional sports, like I love sports, I'm not terribly athletic, but I love sports. And I'd imagine that it's very grueling to be an athlete. And so
Yeah, it's an insane grind.
and I mean, especially baseball, what is it, 100 and something games a year?
Well, it's 162, but that's just the season. You got 30 games in spring training, and you're there a couple weeks before the game start. It's over 200 days a year. You're living out.
Plus then hopefully you make it to the postseason and you're in there too.
Well, yeah, that's a bonus, but just what you know is on your schedule is going to be it's going to be a solid 8.5 months every year, living out of a suitcase.
Oh, sounds brutal.
I
How
mean,
did you?
it is what it is.
But it's also like it's a huge blessing, because very few people are able to make it to that level, which is really incredible. But it also is like I guess for me, from my perspective, I'm like, I've got two sons and I've got my wife, and I was like, I don't know, that would be a really tough life. And so that's where I come from, right, in
Oh
my
yeah,
head. And you said you've been married for quite a while. Were you married during your baseball years, or were you single during that time?
I've been going on 30 years of being married. So I played a couple of years in the minor leagues, and then a couple of years in the major leagues before I got married. But yeah, you got to have a supportive family, that's for sure. And my wife's been a trooper. I mean, my family's been out. They've seen the entire, they've seen the country times 10. And, we've been to every major city, every little podunk town, every minor league ballpark and major league ballpark there is, in this country to offer. And, my kids have grown up around that. And I don't, I think when they were younger, packing up and going for the summer, when they get out of school, it was fun for them. And as they got older, it was a little tougher. But my wife was like, "This is what we're doing," and
Yeah.
didn't really have a choice. And then I was fortunate to towards the end to start working close to home. So for me, it was like I was just commuting to work, and then we're going to go on a trip for 5 days or 7 days. Not so much of a big
Yeah.
deal when you get to come home. But yeah, it wears on you for sure, and it's a lot of work. And like I said, I owe it all to them, because they allowed me to continue and to pursue that, and to be able to enjoy it and not feel guilty about what I was doing.
That's fantastic. And for that balance, you've got three major things in your life at that point. Then you've got music, obviously. With 10 Foot Pole, you left due to not wanting to be a full-time musician. You had obviously your baseball career.
I was asked to leave. I don't like to sit
Oh,
pound that nail, but I didn't leave on my own. But I'm glad that I was asked to leave, because the next day we started Pulley and we're still going. So
heck yeah. I mean, honestly, like it's funny because I was like, I've heard of that band 10 Foot Pole, but I knew who Pulley was. So I'm grateful too,
yeah,
because it worked out great for my music listening.
good.
But you had obviously those three major things in life: baseball, family, and music. How did you find balance? How did you balance everything?
Well, it's all I've ever known. So
Valid.
I really, that's a tough question to answer, because my whole life, this is all I've done. And I don't know how to phrase it any differently, other than being extremely grateful and thankful that I've never had to have a real job. And I've been able to live this kind of so-called fantasy. And um, it's just who I am.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, that's a great way of putting it, though, because I guess when that's all you know, you don't really think about it, right? It's just kind of like, this is my life. This is how it is. And
I never got to go to work, come home, eat dinner with my family, play with my kids on the weekends. I mean, I did, but it wasn't like an every single month, every week, every day type thing. And
yeah,
I've just, this is what it's been. So
yeah,
this is how my family's grown, and we're close. And I think we're a lot closer because of it. And you know, we've had a home in California forever, but it's kind of cool when you pack up and you go away for the summer and you're in this little apartment with, you know, five of us, and we're in this little two-bedroom apartment and in a different city. And it's just, it made things, it was cool. It was a good experience. I'd like to think it was a good experience for my kids growing up, for sure. And don't get me wrong, when I'm home, I definitely made up for it. You know, I don't think you have to be,
absolutely.
as a parent, you don't have to be present. It's who you are when you are there. And I made sure that when I was there, they didn't feel like they didn't have a dad when I was gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that right there is parenting advice for the ages. That's exactly what it is. It's the fact is, like, I have to work. I have to be away from home, but the moment I am home, my kids know that they have dad. They have me. And that's so valuable. And the fact that you did that and made that a priority obviously sings volumes about who you are as a person, but also like where your values lie.